Oh, you're gonna love these. I'm in the kitchen with Icelandic provisions today, and I've created this recipe that I've actually been thinking about for a long time. Something Lucy wanted me to do. It's an indoor kebab, and I'm calling them creamy citrus stovetop kebabs. Let's go. What goes into it? Plain skyr, chicken thighs, tangerines juice, feels free to use oranges. Of course, Icelandic provisions, skyr, olive oil, red wine vinegar, garlic, tomato paste, salt, pepper, and chicken thighs. I'm doing Aleppo pepper, but you don't need to, and if you have it, it's pretty fabulous. I'm gonna take a little warm water and I'm gonna put the Aleppo pepper in, and I'm just going to dissolve that a little bit, just get it kind of softened up, and then let's add the skyr. If you're wondering what skyr is, it's a cultured dairy product that actually comes from ancient heirloom cultures from Iceland, and it's the only one in America that actually comes from those cultures. So let's take this, the olive oil, and let's start adding everything. So I'm gonna add this juice. You can add any citrus that you want, and it's fun to change things up. The red wine vinegar, a little bit of smashed garlic, and I'm gonna add some salt to this, but I'm also gonna add some salt directly to the chicken because chicken loves salt. Let's do this. Let's add some salt here and let's get everything really nicely salted. And then let's do the same thing with the pepper, and let's also do it over here to the marinade. Take the thigh and place it lengthwise and then cut it in half. If you had a giant one, you could cut it in thirds. And we're gonna let that just be attached. We're gonna put it all on the skewer and it's gonna be fantastic. Now let's just put everything in, and if you're me, I think you know where I'm heading with this. Let's just toss it all up, and then what we're gonna do is put it in the fridge a few hours overnight, and then we're gonna thread them up and cook them. Just put the Clementine juice in here with my magic elixir pitcher, and what I'm gonna do is close this, and this is the greatest thing about this. Somebody who came to a meetup once gave me this. I love it. You see the hole here? What you can do, oh great, let's do it on low, is we can add slowly. Love this, little bit by bit. We do that, it's because you want to emulsify it, so you want to add the oil a little bit at a time. I happen to love this little device so much. So here it is, it kind of looks like a dreamsicle. Oh, absolutely delicious. I could just eat it directly out of there, and I might do that later. What we're gonna do is, we've got this all marinated up, and what we're gonna do is just kind of wipe off the marinade. We don't have to make ourselves crazy, but it's going to burn if all of this is on. Let's just blot it. And here's the thing about food, it gets a little messy and you can't let that freak you out. So I'm just gonna generally blot, and then let's move to threading. Now we're gonna thread it. You're just gonna kind of go in and out. It's actually kind of a lot of fun to make. You don't wanna make them too sparse, but you also don't wanna overcrowd it. You wanna have just kind of enough room. And if you make a mistake, you can unthread it and start again. And you want them to look something like that. Let's put one more on here. Here's my second one. They're looking great. We're gonna get ready to cook, but let's thread all of this up and then we'll get sauteing. Let's sear these. I'm gonna do them in a nonstick because it's gonna make it easier. And then we're gonna finish these in the oven in a sheet pan. So it's going to be, let's move them over there a little bit. Just a few minutes aside to get them brown and then finish them in the oven. Let's look and see how long it takes. Let's take a peek and look at it. And it's always a little tricky to flip these, but I eventually get them flipped. Let's do it again. Okay, looking good. A little bit of the skyr that came off, and I'm just gonna pull out some of that. I added a little more oil because I think we needed it, and then let's get the rest cooking. All of the chicken is sauteed. It's on this great tray. We're gonna stick it in the oven, 350 for about 8 or 9 minutes until it's done, and we're gonna be ready to eat. I'm bringing this out, and they look just perfect. And now we cannot wait. I'm just kind of touching everything. Well, we can't personally wait to dig in. Assembly is my favorite part. Let's start with some lovely greens. And here's something to know, and you may have heard me say it before. Let's salt the greens, and I've got some leftover marinated onion oil. Let's stir that up, and let's kind of just dress the greens a bit. Then let's just put the chicken right over the greens, and this is what I love. It kind of wilts it, and that's lovely and fantastic and delicious. We can just kind of rearrange and get it all in there. Let's put some pepperoncinis here. Pepperoncinis are just, I don't know, I absolutely love that. In case you're wondering about all these fabulous bowls, yes, these are all possible things we're gonna be having at some point. And in the meantime, I'm having a heck of a lot of fun using them. Wonderful little tomatoes, and then let's use that marinated onion oil. And I'm even gonna use a little bit of salt, and it's gonna help them kind of weep a little bit, and they're gonna be just like emitting a little red juice, and it's gonna be wonderful. If you've never had a sheep's milk feta, well, what I can tell you is run, don't walk. Clearly, if you're doing Whole30, that you're not having this, but if you're doing food freedom, or you can tolerate a little dairy, it actually comes from a sheep rather than a cow, so a lot of people digest it differently. And if you have to get it in this water, it's a masterpiece. Got some Niçoise olives, so I'm gonna place them a few different places. And then, what are we missing, people? Everybody guess. You guessed it right, marinated onions. Here's the most important thing I can tell you. That wonderful juice that came under the chicken, you're gonna use every little bit of it, or put it aside for the next time you make minestrone soup, or you need some great flavor enhancer and you can freeze it up. It's basically food of the gods. Marinated onions, you know, I always marinate them for about 12 hours. These are a little bit less, so they're just a little bit less pink. By the way, you can always feel free to add like a teaspoon of balsamic, which is also very nice. And you know what we've got? We have got lunch and everybody here. So finished product, wherever you don't have a vinaigrette, use this. And I'm a girl that likes two dressings, so this bit of creamy fabulousness is also gonna be great. Let's all dig in